I grew up in Sarasota, Florida, and I have always known that I wanted to work with animals. Ever since I was, I think 4 years old is when I started saying that I was going to be a vet, but things changed a little bit. Right when I turned 18, I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, and we found out that it was stage 3 extraosseous Ewing sarcoma. It's a pediatric bone cancer that's very rare, and it was a bone cancer that was found outside of my bones, which is even more rare. So they wanted to start chemotherapy immediately. The treatment protocol that I was on had just recently come out of clinical trial, and it was very, very aggressive. So we were excited on the one hand that this new treatment had come out that would have a great chance of survival, but we didn't know what was going to happen after that. My mom, she and I were together the whole time I was in treatment, every moment practically. She had a big giant binder that had all of my medications and kept note of everything that was going on. She was like my biggest support system. And then of course, you know, going home and having my brother and sister and my dad there, obviously they're enormous support. College was not as much fun for me as for most people. It was more of a getting through it. But then when I met Colby, you know, we had a great time, and it was just different.
She slowly got better each year.
Yeah. Even though I beat cancer, it still affects me every day. That involves a lot of knowing myself and my limits. So I think that was a lot for Colby to take on when we first started dating.
Yeah, it was strange.
Understand.
And she hates for people to know, so she'd try to hide it. Actually, she was thinking, as she was graduating undergrad, in the very end, she was kind of thinking of doing research, even though her dream had always been to be a vet.
I'm a fourth-year vet student right now. I graduate in May. And it's kind of the culmination of more than 20 years of school and dreaming, and it's kind of surreal. Being a vet is pretty amazing in that I get to work with animals all the time, and I get to actually make a difference with them and treat and potentially save lives. When I was in chemo, I would literally spend the whole day just visualizing what I wanted to do if I ever finished chemo, if I did survive. And the biggest thing that I was afraid of missing out on was being a vet. Even though in my mind I thought that I wouldn't be able to get there from where I was. So it's a huge deal for me. People always would ask me, you know, if I was afraid of dying, or, you know, if I was afraid I wasn't gonna get to do all the things that I wanted to do. And honestly, I was never afraid of dying. I was afraid of not having a family. So we went to see a high-risk specialist, and by a miracle, I ended up getting pregnant. So now we have Levi, and he's awesome. The fact that I got married was amazing enough, and then having a baby was like unreal. My doctor thinks I may be the only Ewing sarcoma survivor to have had a baby, a healthy baby. My greatest accomplishment is definitely Levi. I mean, really, I had no control over him at all, but
it feels like an accomplishment.
It does. He's just perfect. As hard as it was to be the one that's sick and the one in pain and the one unsure of their future, I think it would be so much harder to be the mom having to watch that. And so that's why, you know, we want to donate to the NPCF, because if we can make the future better for Levi and not have to have other kids going through what I had to go through,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
I don't think there's any amount of money that would be too much to try and cure your own kid, you know.
I am incredibly lucky to have survived, and a huge part of that is the fact that somebody raised money to perform research and go through clinical trials with a new approach, and I'm the outcome of that.